like that paragraph. Okay, so you need your pencils in hand. So first we're going to start with paragraph number 1. And Sullivan, would you please be our first reader? I want for you to take a moment to decide what you feel is the most important sentence in that paragraph. Underline the sentence you feel is most important in that paragraph. I think the last sentence is the most important one. If you agree with me, awesome. If you disagree, that's okay. We're different brains. Lauren, please read this paragraph.
Shadow.
Very nice reading. Can you please underline the sentence that contains the definition of shadow? You can verify with mine up on the board. Paragraph 3, we're going to read that full paragraph. Please read for us, Charlie. Box the word low. Now find the word longer or long. They're both in there. You can verify yours with mine if you want to look up. And then we're going to add a statement at the end here. We're going to add the lower the sun, the longer the shadow. That one's still new to us. So we're going to add the, all right, let's act this one out. Ready? We'll be a bench. We'll be the sun. Is the sun low or high in the sky right here? Low. It's the beginning of the day, so is it morning or evening? Morning. So is the shadow long or short? Long, because the sun is low. Let's say the lower the sun, the longer the shadow. Now make your sun go to 12 o'clock noon. Good job. Is our shadow long or short? Short, because the angle of the sun is high. Now make your sun 4 p.m. Ooh, so we're in the opposite direction. Is it lower than it was at noon? Yes. So the lower the sun, the longer the shadow. Let's say we're late spring and it's 6 p.m. The lower the sun, the longer the shadow. Excellent. Good work. Okay, next paragraph starts with the words to us. Find how long it takes the earth to rotate one time. Okay, everyone tell me, how long does it take?
24 hours.
The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Time the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Excellent. Instead of reading the bottom, good. Let's take our pencil and trace the axis. Axis, we're going to label the North Pole with a capital N for north. How do you think we'll label the South Pole? Tell me. S, capital S for south. Now the North Pole has an arrow tip on the end. Do you notice that? Yeah. So if we take this imaginary axis line and we extend it up through the North Pole, then we're going to have a star that circles the pole. Do you remember that word?
Circumpolar.
Good job, circumpolar. And what's that one star that's circumpolar above the North Pole? The North Star. Who remembers the scientific name? Tell me. Polaris. Excellent. So let's draw a little star. Twinkle, twinkle, little. And we're going to label this North Star. And then I'm going to put in parentheses, capital P for Polaris. Polaris. It's up here if you want to verify. Okay, this is going to be really hard to remember, but we talked about this yesterday. How can we locate the North Star in the sky? Do you remember, Clara?
Isn't it like you look at the North Star on the Big Dipper and then go to the...
We use the Big Dipper. Okay, we definitely use the Big Dipper. Do you want to keep thinking?
And then do you go to the one above it, which is like the smaller one, and then go to that north?
I can tell that your path in your closet isn't crystal clear yet. It's still a little messy, but you are getting there. You are getting there. Do you want me to help you verify, or do you want to call in one of your peers?
Maybe. So like from the little bit, like all the way on the end, if you just go straight up, you'll find the North Star.
Yes, but the Big Dipper. right? So the two outer stars of the cup of the Big Dipper are our guide stars, and they point directly to the North Star Polaris. Great job. We have one more paragraph to read. Look at me. Sun dials. Everyone, sun dials. Go. There were some really tough words in that paragraph. So we all said sundial. Say it again. Sundial. Good. I want for you to find and underline the sentence that has the definition of sundial. Here's the reading teacher nerd in me. The definition actually uses a simile. A simile is comparing two things using like or as. What is the sundial being compared to? Chandler? A clock. Very good. A sundial is like a clock that uses shadows to tell time. Okay, flip it over. I need you to put your name on the back, on the name line. Here's how we're going to answer these 5 questions. I'm going to ask you the question. I'll read it out loud. You're going to have a moment to discuss with your shoulder partner the answer, and then I'll verify your answer, and then we'll go on to the next question. So, number 1, actually, let's locate our shoulder partners. Point to your shoulder partner, who you're going to talk to. Eli, where are you pointing? You need to point somewhere. Why don't you go back? Are we, Ashlyn, good? We're good. Okay, so number 1, which best summarizes the main idea of the passage? So all throughout the passage, what's the best main idea choice? Talk with your shoulder partners. Go. Okay, the answer is C. So overall, this passage or this article is about the Earth's orbit and rotation on its axis causing many patterns. I want for you to do a few motions for me. Tristan, can you turn around right now? Okay, this is what? Orbit or rotation? Rotation. Good. What would this be called then? Orbit. Now, I'm going to call something out, and I want you to make the motion if I'm talking about rotation or orbit, okay? Day and night. Rotation. Shadows across the sky. Rotation. Seasons throughout the year. Orbit. Amount of daylight, how long your day is. Orbit. Remember, we're angled, we're tilted on an axis, so if we're tilted towards the sun, we have more daylight. Okay? Different constellations in the night sky at different times of the year. Good. One more time. Shadows throughout one day. Was that tough? That was hard to do, wasn't it? Let's go on to the second question. There are 2 options to select here. The blank of a shadow changes as the Earth rotates. So 2 things change. You're going to select 2 items. Talk. Class, yes. The lower the sun. Okay, so you should have chosen A. So length changes, but then also what changes? Direction. So A and D. Number 3 says, what can you infer? I like the word infer. I also like the word hypothesize. And here I think the word hypothesize is more specific to science. So I'm going to read it with hypothesize. What can you hypothesize about the shadows on a sundial? Talk with your partners.
Yeah.
The answer is B. They change throughout the day. Now show me, rotation or orbit, what is impacting the shadows on a sundial? Rotation. Good job. Okay, so number 4 is a lot of words in the question. I'm going to break it down for you. Which detail from the text, so A, B, C, and D are all quotes from the article. These are all taken from the text. Which of these best explains how Earth's movement affects the amount of daylight? So we talked about this versus this and the amount of daylight, so how long the day is or how short the day is. Which of these quotes from the text gives us the best evidence to support how much daylight we see on Earth? Go. The answer, B. So we're talking about the tilt of the northern hemisphere tilting towards the sun, so that gives us a longer day. We're talking about the orbit. Number 5 has tripped some people up so far. Number 5 says there's 3 different definitions of the word orbit. Which definition is being used in this sentence? This happens because the Earth's axis is tilted as our planet orbits the sun. With your shoulder partners, discuss which definition, 1, 2, or 3, is being used in this sentence. Go.
At least I think.
You singing? The answer is C. Yeah. So it's being used as a verb. It's planet orbits. It's talking about the action. Okay? So your name is on the top of your paper. Before you turn this in, you're going to be turning 2 things into me today. This is one of them, and then your word search is the other. When you're done with your word search, you're going to bring it to me and I'm going to check your spelling. Once you're finished, you're going to turn both of these papers in, and then you have electronics for the rest of class.
Oh, yeah.